Who's got the rocket launcher? I say we blow it up. Now fire that thing.
It's for the city of sports, playing with a giant Nick. With my man S. God.
That's him.
You feel the vibe?
That's me.
We going live.
That's us.
That like button shared, you been subscribed.
Stadium.
That MetLife, Big Blue, home of the Braves.
Yeah.
That turnpike, you can see that's where the game's played. NFL one day, then it's the NBA. Madison Square Garden, that's where the Knicks play. This that NY Logan, no it don't get broken. Legalize, mean this shit smoking. I'm on topic, dropping another episode. The game winner, trade, maybe a field goal. Everybody right now doing the wave. You tune in, the show called The-Man-Cave. I see the chat, they always doing their thing. Big views, 85 inch screen. The game's on, you rush and bleed. Remain calm, you on the road and chill. Do the watch along, the show's on. The host, you know it's S-God. It's no telling the panel filled with guest stars. You now rocking with the voice, you know what it is. It's your boy J Boogie. You're now rocking with my man S-God. I support him to the fullest, you heard? My man Mike Blaze. This is Alter Production. What that mean, we about to alter everything that's playing. Tune in, my man S.God. Support the show. Subscribe, share it. Most importantly, hit that like button.
What's good? What's good? Salute, man. Salute to the orange and blue skies, man. Knicks Nation, New York Knicks. You already know what time it is, man. Also, salute, man, to the Big Blue Nation, the Big Blue Wrecking Crew, New York Giants football. You already know what time it is, Knicks and the Giants, man. Going to do a little both for today, man. Give you a little talk Knicks tonight, as well as also talk about the New York Giants and the training camp, man. Thank you guys, man, for tuning in tonight, man. It is a rainy day here in the A, man. Don't know where it is, you know, what it's like where you at, but it's been raining down here all day, man. It's been a dreary, rainy day, man. But hey, it's time to talk some sports, man. You know, thank you guys for tapping into the Man-Cave podcast. I'm your host, S-God, man. Tonight, man, we're going to be talking about a little NBA, New York Knicks, man, especially, you know, Mikal Bridges signing his extension. Also Luka, and also De'Aaron Fox signing some extension, man. But if this is your first time to my channel, man, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, man. And also share this on all social media platforms, man. Subscribe to the Man-Cave podcast, as well as subscribe to the Aboriginal Sports Network, man. The link is right there in the chat. With centralized location for all of our content, man. And make sure you go subscribe to all the great content creators on the Aboriginal Sports Network, myself, the Man-Cave podcast, Coach Ed Gladney's Amazing World of Sports, Big Pat Sports Talk, Unpopular Opinion Sports with NYG, Leaf Diggy, Mets 2128, TP Way the Giant, as well as Ghost Dog, as well as Delay of Game, Deception, Rob R0B, man. Make sure you go and subscribe, man, as well, man. But hey, man, first off, man, like I said, I know it's been a minute, man, but hey, feels good to be back on here talking just a little basketball for today. You know what I'm saying? We're in the dog days of summer, man. Basketball season is dead right now, but, you know, football is starting to heat up. Training camp is about, you know, basically about over now. So preseason games will start Saturday coming up. So football season is right around the corner, man. So, you know, got some little training camp updates, news and stuff like that to talk about. But first things first, man, going to talk about Mikal Bridges, man. Signs a 4-year, $150 million extension with the New York Knicks. And I know some reports had it that the Knicks was holding out to see on the Giannis trade front if he was going to be asked for a trade or not. That's why there was delaying the Mikal Bridges signing, you know what I'm saying? Because I guess if you sign Bridges, then you can trade him for like 6 months. So it was something like that to that effect. But I don't know how true that is, but I guess if they got wind of it that he wasn't going to ask for a trade, they was like, you know what, let's go ahead and just like, you know, keep this thing intact, you know, run it back again and let's see what we can do. But the good thing about this Mikal Bridges signing this 4-year, $150 million instead of waiting until next off season, he would have been eligible for, I believe it was a 5-year, $300 or $500 and $250 million deal or something like that, which I would not been thrilled with, you know what I'm saying? So if he could sign this deal, you know what I'm saying, with this 4-year, $150 million deal, it averages out to about $38 million. I mean, that's cool, you know what I'm saying? Now we got 4 players under contract. You know, that'd be Karl Anthony Towns, Jalen Brunson, OG Anunoby, and now Mikal Bridges. But the other thing with this 4-year, $150 million deal, it could have been 156, but he left $6 million on the table, which allowed the Knicks to go under the second apron with all these deals that the Knicks on, which is a big deal. I mean, to me, to some other people it might be little, but to the Knicks that's a big deal because now with the second apron, you're operating under the second apron, well, operating under both aprons. Now it gives you a little bit more flexibility to make some other little moves that you can make and sign. And looking at this, let me put this thing up right now. What this deal, just put it up there. What the deal does is see Carl Anthony Towns right there at like 53. OG Ananobi is at 39. And that was what you call it, 39. Jalen Brunson is at 34. Bridges is at 24. Josh Hart is at 19. Robinson is at 12, and he is going into his free agent year. This is be his last year on the contract. So that's another thing too. We're going through a Mitchell Robinson. Like I said, he's a big part of what the Knicks are doing. I know a lot of Knicks fans and other be like wanting to trade Mitchell Robinson all the time, but he's a big part of what the Knicks do, man. So we got to try and see how we can keep Mitch and stuff like that. You know, Gershon, Yabusele, $5 million, Deuce McBride with 4, Pakim Dadier, Tyler Kolek, Jordan Clarkson at $2.3 million, Ariel Hukporti at 1.9. Like I said, so the next 3 years for the Knicks, the most important line is the second apron. The Jalen Brunson extension last year, now Mikal Bridges extension has given the Knicks flexibility to operate under both aprons. As you see under the first apron, the Knicks are $8 million under the first apron, and they are $3.7 million under the second apron, which is a big deal because if the Knicks were over, they would have to start releasing, getting rid of players, trading players, and things like that. So all this thing with the second apron and all this stuff, man, it is a lot. It is very important, man. It is very, very important. Like I said, with basketball now, with this second apron stuff and first apron, because before it was just salary cap and that was it. But what it is trying to do is trying to stop teams from building super teams and building like 3, 4 players or something like that, which is great. Because really, you really need only get about 2 big salaries, 2 or 3 big salaries at the most, not 4. You know what I'm saying? And it makes it more competitive and stuff like that. So, and that's why you had to see like teams like Boston, like the Celtics. The Celtics had to start breaking up their team, knowing that Jason Tatum was going to be out for the year. So they didn't want to have to pay all that luxury tax, and if they wasn't really going to win a championship this year, and that's why you've seen them trade Kristaps Porzingis and unloaded Drew Holiday as well to give themselves some financial relief, and that's what they did because Jason Tatum's contract is $300 million. Jalen Brown is $300 million. That's $600 million for 2 players right there. And then you had the KP contract and the Drew Holiday contract. You were playing close to like $1 billion, bro. Close to $1 billion. Also, don't forget about Derek White's contract and stuff like that. So yeah, that's why the second apron, like I said, and that was Adam Silver who came up with this thing with the second apron and all this stuff for the CBA thing and all this stuff is like in a way, like I said, it's good. Like I said, I mean, it stopped teams from trying to build super teams. So, I mean, the next team that you could really got to watch out for how they're going to operate will be the Cleveland Cavaliers. You know what I'm saying? Their window ain't going to be as long as a lot of people think their window is going to be because they're paying 4 players too right now, with Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, Jared Allen, and also Evan Mobley. So they're going to have to come up with if they don't win a championship this year or within next year, they're going to have to start breaking that team up too so they could fall under the apron and stuff like that. So this second apron, like I said, is a game changer. It changes the way teams are going to operate in the future, and that's why you see some teams making moves. Some teams are trying to get rid of players. You look at Memphis. Memphis. You look at Memphis, and what they did was they traded Desmond Bain because they probably could have kept Bain too, but the money's tied up in John Morant, and now what's name got like a 240, $50 million extension. Jaren Jackson Jr. So you already know what that was about because when you saw that trade went down, I was like, yep, it was because of the second apron. It had nothing to do with that Memphis didn't want Baines or nothing like that. And that's what people have to look at. People like, what's going on? Why these guys are moving? What's going on? It's all because of the second apron. Teams are gonna have to change the way they operate. What's good, RC? Salute, salute. What's good? Yeah, so it just changes how teams are gonna have to operate, man. So, but like I said, with the Mikal Bridges deal, like I said, for the Knicks, I mean, if Bridges did not sign that extension this season, I'm pretty sure the Knicks was probably going to try to trade or unload him like during the season or something like that, because it was important that he signed that extension before he gets to next year and the year after that, because then it's a even a bigger deal than that, which I don't think the Knicks were willing to do. So I think in this way, it was a good deal for Bridges to sign the deal, like I said. And with him signing the deal now, I mean, it has to be 6 months, but he can be included in a trade package probably within, trade deadline or within next year or something like that. So, that was another big get for the Knicks as well in that, man. But I just want to know how you guys feel about that contract. Do you think it was a fair contract? Do you think the Knicks overpaid for him? Even though they overpaid in trading for him with 5 first-round picks or in a pick swap or something like that. And I know that's what Knicks fans and Nets fans is always talking about and stuff like that. But it's all good, man. But like I said, the most important thing with the Bridges thing, it puts the Knicks under the second and the first apron with the deal that he took. And like I said, it was a great on his part, man. Like I said, because if he didn't take that, the Knicks more than likely were going to try to ship him off, just like how they did Julius Randle when he didn't want to do his extension, and saying like he wanted more of the extension and stuff like that. Knicks were not willing to do that, so they they shipped him off to Minnesota and stuff like that. So you know, it is what it is, man. That's what happens. But yeah, that Bridges deal, like I said, when I first saw, it, I was like, okay, 4 year, 150, $38 million. Yeah, I can accept that. You know what I'm saying, because of what they had to give up to get him, and he is a part of the core of the Knicks. But if the Giannis trade would have been available, like I said, I could see him and Towns going in a trade. And I know some people are like, you that's giving up too much. Nah, it's not giving up too much, because you really want to give up two salaries for one. You see what I'm saying? You really want three big salaries on your team, and that's it. So that way you can build and fill out your team. You know what I'm saying? If you got four big salaries, it's kind of hard to fill out the team because you got four big salaries and you're close to that second apron and stuff like that. But if you got three big contracts and then you got some wiggle room to do some things and make some moves, add some depth and add some pieces and stuff like that, that's what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? But I don't feel like this is like, hey, if Giannis is available, hey, like I said, the two I give up would be Towns and Bridges, but I'm not giving up Ananobi. I'm not giving up Ananobi. You know what I'm saying? So I rather, even though I know they're going to ask for Ananobi, I'd rather give it Bridges. He said they should have been trying to trade Mikal Bridges, not resign him. Yeah, they could have did that too, but like I said, I think that's part of the whole Giannis thing. I think if Giannis would have requested the trade, I think they would have tried to package him in there and stuff, like most likely package him in there and stuff like that. He said Cavs, Magic, Knicks top three out of East, and after that, I'm not sure the East will shake out because you got big injuries in Boston, India, and you don't. So Six and Bucks. Yeah, yeah. I also got to look at for Atlanta too, man. Atlanta looked like they made some little good moves too, man. So can't count out the Hawks if they could stay healthy and stuff like that. They got a little squad over there. You know what I'm saying? I know they're gonna be shooting the lights out and stuff like that because they're gonna be playing fast and things like that. So you already know with that. So yeah, like I said, on the Bridges front and stuff like that, yeah, I'm not too, like I said, too mad about the deal and stuff like that. But like I said, if it was something that had to be done, I'd rather do it this year than wait until in the off season where he'd get an even bigger extension, which I don't think the Knicks is going to try to do that. And like I said, I'm more worried about re-signing Mitchell Robinson. I know some people want to get rid of him because he can't do this. He can't. It's like, bro, at the end of the day, Mitchell Robinson needs to stay. He's the anchor of our defensive anchor, shot blocking, rebounding, rim protector, everything. I don't care about the offensive game too much. Like I said, his offensive rebounding, shot blocking is way more than enough, man. You know what I'm saying? It says Indiana backslot. Yeah, Indiana. Yeah, they got some injuries that they got to take care of. With Halliburton, and then also Miles Turner leaving to go to Milwaukee, man. He left them and he went to Milwaukee. I thought he was gonna get more money than that, but he signed a 4 year 107. That's like 25 mil a season. I thought, yeah, like, man. But like I said, the way he played in the playoffs, he didn't look like he really wanted to, like he was looking for a big payday. Because I would have thought he was like he had like one of the big payday already. The way he was playing in the playoffs, I mean, he was invisible. He wasn't really making himself like putting himself out there like going crazy and stuff like that. I'd have been like, "Yo, what's good, man?" It's like, man, come on. I was like, yo, where's Miles Turner at, man? It's like, yo, without Halliburton, they was dead in the water. Siakam was good. You know, McConnell was on fire in the playoffs. McConnell, what's his name? Nemhart, and Siakam. That's what kept them alive, man. William Horton, what's good, bro? Salute, salute. Yeah, man. It was just like, man, Miles Turner's like, bro, you got to try to get paid. I mean, I didn't even know he was a free agent, but hey, he got paid like the way he played. I mean, he got a 4-year, 107, which I don't think was a big deal. I mean, I think Milwaukee made off like a bandit in that deal. So, wow, I was surprised on that. And then the other extension was Luka Doncic, 3-year, 165. Luka Doncic to stay with the Lakers. That was a good deal for the Lakers and Luka. And man, if anybody's seen Luka looked like he got in shape this year, man. It's like Luka took that to heart, man. After the Mavs called him out for his conditioning and weight, and also the Lakers, I guess JJ Redick was saying like in the playoffs, guys wasn't in condition, shape, and stuff like that. And I think, like I said, Luka took that to heart, man, because in the offseason, man, Luka has trimmed down and stuff like that. He's on, I guess he got a nutritional a chef and stuff like that. So he cut on that fat, man. It's like this. I've seen some pictures and stuff like that. I can't find it, but yeah, man, Luka looked like he put a lot of effort into the offseason, man, to get in shape and stuff like that. So this will probably be the leanest that we've seen Luka Doncic play since his rookie season and stuff like that. So man, that might be a what you call it for Luka Doncic, man. That might be one of those things, a chip on his shoulder and stuff like that, man. He said, if I'm be honest, Miles Turner's not a big me say that's fine. Hey, yo, I'm with you right there, man. Miles Turner's not a big enough move to keep me in Milwaukee satisfied, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know, man. Man, okay, how can I just go your link? Okay, I'm gonna put my link in the chat for you. William Hart, says Luke out here looking like Rip Hamilton is prime in Detroit. He ready? We'll see. Yeah, man. Hey, man. Luka Doncic, like I said, man. Luka took it to heart this year in the playoffs, and like I said, after being traded, Luka took he took it to heart, man. I seriously got to say, like Luka, like when I seen the pictures, I said, oh man, this is like the leanest I've seen Luka, man. I was like, man, Luka Doncic is like he put the beer down. I guess he's on a diet, stuff like that. So, hey, man, yo, more ups to Luka. Like I said, I'm interested to see what he's gonna do this season, man. If he's in shape like that, you know what I'm saying? If he's in game shape like that, I'm like, damn, Luka look like he wants to have an MVP season. You know what I'm saying? MVP season for Luka Doncic. Hey, William Horton is right there, and I just put my link in there. Yeah, man. Ghost, what's good, bro? Salute, salute, salute. Yeah, man. Like I said, yeah, Luca. Like I said, Luca's ready, man. 3-year, 165. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna be back with LeBron. You know what I'm saying? JJ Redick. Like I said, we're gonna see how he's motivate these guys. But like I said, Luca look like he's gonna be ready. He's gonna be ready to play this season, man. Like I said, he looking like he want to play. He want to have an MVP type season for the Lakers and stuff like that. And plus, they just gave him that 3-year, 165 extension. So hey, he got rewarded. So hey. I might see a different Luka Doncic, man. Like I said, a slim down version. Now, the only thing is his defense. Is he going to be more inclined to, play defensively? That's what they're going to have to get with Luka this season. And if he slims down a little bit, he may be able to play a little bit more defense and stuff like that. And maybe that's part of the requirements, you know what I'm saying? Because these guys go in the offseason and, they leave these exit meetings and teams are telling them what they got to do, when they come back, you know what I'm saying, what they got to work on and things like that. So it is what it is, man. So, hey, we'll see what Luka does, man. And he says, why Dame go back to Portland though? Yeah, I think Dame just went back to Portland. Like I said, Dame is just gonna retire and just go back to Portland and just, what I'm saying? The winning thing, like I said, he didn't win a championship in Milwaukee, I guess. And he really wasn't one of those type of players that was ring chasing anyway, you know what I'm saying? He's not one of those type of players. And I think his loyalty was with Portland always, even though Portland is not that team like that anymore. And I think he just gonna go on home and just, play out the rest of this 3 years contract with Portland that he just signed. Plus, he's getting paid 5 years, $122 million from the Milwaukee Bucks. So, I mean, life is great. And then he just got the job at his alma mater, Weber State, to be the GM. So, hey, things are looking up for Dame, man. And you know what I'm saying? After basketball's over with, that's gonna be his next thing. He's gonna be a GM of Weber State. But like I said, right now he signed a 3-year, $42 million deal with Portland, and he's still getting paid the 5-year, 122 from the Milwaukee Bucks. So, but hey, that boy, he made out like a fat rat. He made out like a fat rat. He must have loved him as Portland, man. He's saying he done caring about trying to, yeah. Yep, he ain't never got to work again after this, unless he feels like he ain't never got to work again, man. Like I said, he put his time and effort into Portland, man, and that's what it is. Like, and he's getting rewards and reaping rewards for it at the end of his playing career. Like I said, I think the thing with Portland, like I said, when he first got there, I really wish LaMarcus Aldridge would have stayed, because I think if LaMarcus Aldridge would have stayed, Portland probably would have been in the playoff hunt a lot during those years with him, CJ McCollum, and LaMarcus Aldridge. I think they could have done some damage out there in the West. But LaMarcus left, and he went for greener pastures with the San Antonio Spurs, and that never really happened. And it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Plus, LaMarcus is from Texas. He's from, I think, Dallas area, so he wanted to go home, so he went home. And also today, another signing, De'Aaron Fox with a $229 million extension with the Spurs. It's a 4-year, 229, I believe. So 4 years, $230 million with the Spurs for De'Aaron Fox. Wow. So Fox is locked in there with Wemby, Stephon Castle, and Dylan Harper, their newest draft pick that they just picked. So San Antonio is going to be a dangerous team. San Antonio is going to be a very dangerous team in the coming years and stuff like that. Like I said, with that lineup with, Wemby, Sochan, Vasil, De'Aaron Fox, what's his name? Dylan Harper, and also uh what's the other guy name? Castle, De'Aaron Fox, and yeah, they got a potent a guard lineup over there in San Antonio, man. They got a potent guard lineup in San Antonio. Yeah, yeah, I think they're gonna make the playoffs this season. Like I said, what's the name? Wemby was his season was cut short last year because of the blood clot and all that type of stuff. So I think he's cleared now. So hopefully, if that don't mess with him and stuff like that, they can have a very, very productive season with Wemby in the lineup and stuff like that, because they are a tough team when he is playing in the lineup, and they can score points. That's the thing with the Spurs; they can score points. They can play anyway. They can score. They can play defense and stuff like that. They got some good defensive guard, like I said, Stephon Castle there, and now they got Dylan Harper, Vasil, Sochan, you know what I'm saying? So, and Wemby. So, they got a good squad down there, man. A very good squad down there and stuff like that, man, in San Antonio. But yeah, so that was a little basketball talk, man. Like I said, and I'm gonna switch over to the New York Football Giants training camp, man. And like I said, looking at Giants, like I said, they had their 10th practice already, in training camp and stuff like that. Some little tidbits and little things from the training camp, man, has been, Abdul Carter has just been a stud, a beast, a monster there in New York and stuff like that, in training camp. Some camp battles that I know is going on will be Deontay Banks and Cordell Flott, which I didn't really see that coming, but they got to it's putting on Deontay Banks on notice, bro. You got to step your game up. You got to step your game up, Deontay Banks. Tyron Hall, what's good, bro? Salute, salute. Yeah, man. And I'm starting to think about that draft class, that the first draft class and the second draft class from Joe Shane. These guys, like I said, this year right there, they got to put it together. I don't know. Kayvon Thibodeau already had 11, a double-digit sacks, so I'm not too worried about Kayvon Thibodeau. But John Michael Schmitz, Jalen Hyatt, Dane Belton, Bellinger, and then the next class with Deontay Banks, John Michael Schmitz, those guys. You know what I'm saying? Jalen Hyatt is like, yo, you guys got to bring it, man. Got to bring it. Like I said, so far in practice, I've probably been a little bit disappointed with Deontay Banks, the way he's been playing. I've seen some highlights where, it's like he's not, it's like not even giving effort on a play, man. It's just like, bro, you got to play the ball. He's not even looking at the ball. He's playing the receiver. It's like, bro, you're in your second, third year. It's like, bro, I mean, your third year. What are you doing? You got to get out there and show some improvement, man. I was like, you're a press corner stuff like that. But you got to get out there. You got to use your speed, less hands and stuff like that. And if you want to use your hands, pass breakup. That's what we want to see. Pass breakups and interceptions. That's where I want to see you use your hands, not holding a receiver and getting a PI, pass interference and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Looking at one of them camp highlights and stuff like that, I'm like, yeah, he's getting cooked by neighbors and stuff, but who isn't getting cooked by neighbors? You know what I'm saying? So, but looking at another camp, I think he was against, I want to say Bo Collins or somebody, and he's like, man, he threw the ball like it was like a long bomb down in the end zone. He never really turned his head around. He was playing the receiver the whole time, holding, grabbing him and stuff like that. And I'm like, bro, that's not it, man. That is not it. You know what I'm saying? So he got to improve his game, man. And JMS is another one. John Michael Schmitz, bro. This is your third going into your third season with the Giants. I mean, to me, you're undersized center. Like I said, to me, you're a little bit light in the ass and stuff like that. But you cannot be getting dominated by Abdul Carter like that. I know Abdul Carter's a beast and stuff like that. But if Abdul Carter doing this to you, then what is like Jalen Carter and these other guys going to do to you in the middle and stuff like that? Is like you got to play stronger. I'm gonna show you this clip of Abdul Carter dominating. I mean, I know everybody already seen this clip with JMS pushing JMS. I mean, he pushed him like a rag doll. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? It's like, yo, you getting pushed off like that? It's like, yo, after that play, I would have sat him down. I would have pulled him onto the sidelines and sat him down. I would have sat him down because, like I said, there is no way. I'm about to show the play right there. There is no way that you do that. You know, I mean, look at this play. I mean, what is the excuse for this play? Getting tossed like a rag doll. I mean, look at that. I mean, yeah, I mean, I know that Abdul Carter's a beast, but come on now. You can't get tossed like that first. And he got thrown. He didn't just get thrown. He got thrown like Alabama. He got thrown out like Alabama trash. I mean, come on now. You got to play much stronger than that, bro. You got to play much stronger than that. You got to be much stronger than that. That is not no excuse. This is your third training camp, bro. This is your third training camp. Like I said, can't do that. Cannot do that. Cannot do that. He said cannot, cannot do that at all. Can't do that, man. Cannot do that. He said JMS need to get his lunch money back. He doesn't. He do need to get his lunch money back. And I'm gonna say, I'm like with Brian Dable. You see something like that, man. You seen a man getting tossed like that and stuff like this. It's like, yo, I want to see what he did on his next rep. If not, like I said, pull him to the sideline. Be like, hey, you gotta put your big boy pants on. You gotta play like a man. You gotta play like a man. This is the NFL, especially in the NFC East. Those trenches are tough. They got some big guys there. They got some beasts down in the trenches. If you getting tossed like that by a rookie who hasn't even played in the NFL yet, what are you going to do against, like I said, against NFL players already, like I said, and Jalen Carter, these other guys, the guys we faced in Dallas, the Commanders, I mean, come on now. You guys, like I said, I think they got to bring us. They should have brought in some competition for JMS too. Like I said, I really wanted a guy last year from Georgia. I know I told a big Pat Danielson was Cedric Von Prime from Georgia. Like I said, Georgia always Bulldogs. They always have big offensive linemen. Like I said, we got to get some bigger offensive linemen. Like I said, Andrew Thomas, great pick out of Georgia. I know you got a little injury problem, but so what? But he's one of the best linemen out there. You got to keep going back to the well. If a school producing some great linemen, you got to keep going in and picking guys out. Go back to Georgia. We need to go back, circle the wagon, and go back and pick some guys out of Georgia. If you look at Georgia's offensive line, all that offensive line in college averages like 340, 330, 340 across the whole line. That they have one of the biggest line in college football, and that's why they dominate in the run game and pass game all the time in college football, because they have a great offensive line. Whoever the offensive line coach is, there with Kirby Smart and stuff like that, he does an excellent job. Georgia, Iowa has great offensive linemen. Wisconsin, it's like we have to circle the wagon and start going back to these teams that have great offensive linemen and go back there. You know what I'm saying? Good, strong offensive linemen. That's what we need. What he said, who is going to be our quarterback this season? Russell Wilson is going to be the starting quarterback this season, and Jameis will back him up, or Jackson Dart. You depend on what's going on. But yeah, Russell Wilson should start. He's going to start the season as a starting quarterback for the Giants. Yeah, JMS got to eat his spinach. Yeah, you got to be like Popeye. He got to eat that spinach. I mean, man, he got tossed. I mean, that dude got, I mean, he didn't just get overpowered. He got thrown out the whole play and then thrown to the ground like a rag doll. I'm like, bro, get your weight up. You know what I'm saying? Get your weight up. You need to start tossing these guys around. You know what I'm saying? You need to go after them. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I want to see how you're gonna play in these preseason games, how you're gonna play in the season and stuff like that. Because the center position is one of the most important positions on the football field. That center position right there, that dictates our run game and stuff like that. That dictates the protection and stuff like that. If he's gonna get overpowered in the run game and stuff and the pass blocking and stuff like that, that's where you're gonna have a problem. We need our center to be strong at the point of attack and in the pass game as well as the run game. Because also in the run game, he's the leader of the run and the run defense and run on offense. He's the leader out there. So he has to make some holes and stuff like that and start moving guys and moving guys out the way. You know, if he can't do it this season, I mean, if he struggles, hey, they're gonna have to find his replacement. I mean, it's sad that we just picked a guy like what 2 years ago, 2 3, and we got to find his replacement. But that's what it is. I mean, hey, that's why it's called the NFL, and not for long league. You know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, if you're gonna get pushed around, you got to work on your craft. You got to get stronger. You got to hit that weight room. You got to get, you know what I'm saying? Because hey, you have got to make your mark this season. Because so far, and going in your third season, I mean, no, you're still a question mark. That's the problem. You're still a question mark. You have got to turn that question mark into an exclamation point. You got to make a statement, bro. You got to make a statement. You got to make a statement, bro. You know what I'm saying? You got to get your lunch up. You know what I'm saying? Get your weight up. You got to do it. Deontay Banks, he got a lot of proof this season coming up. You know what I'm saying? Deontay Banks. Also, Jalen Hyatt, like I said, I give Jalen Hyatt a little pass because Jalen Hyatt, like I said, some of it is on him, but a lot of it is on the team too. Because, like I said, they have not played the style that's conducive to him as far as stretching the field, throwing the long bombs downfield, and also getting a quarterback enough time to throw the ball. Because, like I said, the Giants, they played the most bracket coverage in football because they had no quarterback throw to a vertical down threat. So teams are just staying close to the line, and when you stay close to the line and the quarterback don't have time to throw the ball, or even the quarterback hold the ball too long, you're not gonna get down there and get some long bombs downfield. Hopefully this season, like I said, they're looking like they're going to be more explosive with like a vertical game and stuff like that, emphasizing that. So that should be great for Jalen Hyatt. You know what I'm saying? Plus you got Russell Wilson with the moon balls, or Jackson Dart if he comes in and stuff like that. You got a quarterbacks that can throw the ball and deliver the ball downfield now. So that's a good thing. So that's what I say with Jalen Hyatt. This is why this year is going to be, on him. Like I said, we'll see how it goes. He also came into camp this year with put on some about 20 pounds of muscles. You know what I'm saying? 19, 20 pounds of muscle, which is much needed for him. Just like he said, to help him get off the line and also help in the block game and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Get the ball down, get downfield and, play stronger at the point of attack and stuff like that. So, hey man, like I said, this season coming up is going to be very pivotal for a couple of these Giants players. Like I said, especially from these last couple of drafts, these guys got to show the work. Dane Belton's been looking good in practice and stuff like that. But like I said, I need to see this in the game. I need to see this in the actual game. The same thing, you know what I'm saying, with Evan Neal. And that's another one. The much maligned Evan Neal, the one the punching bag, everybody's punching bag. Evan Neal at right tackle. For the last 3 years, he's been getting cooked at right tackle, man. Last 2.5 years getting cooked at right tackle. And, people have been screaming like NYG, Unpopular Opinion Sports, been screaming for him to move to guard. And like, let's see what we got at guard. Because it could be another Eric Flowers thing where we gave up on Eric Flowers, as a tackle, and we just let him go or something like that. And he went on to the Dolphins and the Commanders, and he became a guard. And actually, he got a contract as a guard. He was a better guard than he was a tackle. So, hey, let's see. I'm glad they trying him at guard first to see what they have. And if he does good at guard and he could stay there at guard and get a starting spot, that is a huge win for Evan Neal. Like I said, just because you come in as a tackle don't mean that, you have to play as a tackle. You could play as a guard too. You still get paid as a guard. You could be one of the best guards in football, like I said, especially with the run game. Evan Neal is one of the best run blockers, probably the best run blocker on our team when it comes to the run game. So, I mean, I know he can help in the run game, and that's what the guards are for. So, I mean, if he could stay there at guard, that's one guard spot that'll be filled. that we don't have to worry about. We just gotta get another guard, or if it's Runyon is, and that's it, we get our guard. The problem we're gonna have is like gonna be John Michael Schmitz at center. Like, what is he gonna do this coming season? If he could elevate his game to another level and stuff like that, hey, we got something cooking, man. But we're gonna see what's gonna happen with these guys. He said, he said, "Man, come on, as Russell Wilson is done." Yeah, I mean, some people say Russell Wilson has done it on the Broncos and even the Steelers, something like this, but it could be a little bit different in New York, man. We'll see. Like I said, they could block for him and stuff like that. He could throw the ball downfield, put some points up. It's all good. But like I said, if he, that's what's going to be the plan. But if it doesn't work out, I could see Jackson Dart getting in there earlier, or Jameis Winston. Say Jameis Winston will probably be first up, and then Jackson Dart and stuff like that. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes with Russell Wilson. Like I said, sometimes it's the receiver too. Like I said, the Giants do have some speed receivers. They got with Neighbors, Slayton, Wandale Robinson, and Jalen Hyatt. So they got some speed at the receiver position compared to like other teams that really don't have speed at the wide receiver position. You know what I'm saying? So we got some speedsters on there, so they could get the ball out. The whole thing is going to be, is the offensive line going to block, give them time to throw the ball downfield, which I think they will, like I said, because they're running it back with this same offensive line from last year. So some continuity will help and stuff like that. And yeah, Russell was involved. Nice. Yep. Hmm. Cam Scatterbo, and yep. Oh, and that's another thing I was going to talk about, the injuries. Cam Scatterbo is out, and also with a hamstring, and Thomas Fedone is out with a concussion. Some guys who missing practice. Sitting on the sidelines. Darius Slayton was out today and stuff like that. But like I said, preseason game one is coming up on Saturday, man. Hopefully, like I said, these guys will be ready. But like I said, I don't expect the starters to play in the first game, so I'm more likely to play in the second and the third game or something like that. So the first game is usually, it's going to be the backup. So it's going to be probably Jameis Winston starting, or Jackson Dart or something like that playing. And then, like I said, for the Giants, like I said, I want to see Evan Neal. I want to see Evan Neal at guard, man. I want to see how he plays at guard, in the preseason against other teams. Because going against your own team, yeah, it looks good and all that type of stuff. But at the end of the day, man, it's your own team. You know what I'm saying? So I got to take it with a grain of salt until I see it actually happen in a regular season game. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to wait and see. But like I said, so far the reports have been positive and stuff like that. So, hey, man, I'm good with that, man. Evan Neal, like I said, and just because it didn't work out at tackle, don't mean it won't work out at guard. And like I said, he might end up being a better guard than he is a tackle, and there ain't nothing wrong with that. Just because you got picked at number 7, there ain't nothing wrong with that. There's a lot of guys who come into the league as a tackle and transition to guard, or vice versa, something like that. It's just, all it is just how you make it in the NFL, man. Don't matter where you get picked at. It just matter how you survive, how you keep playing in the games and keep your career going and stuff like that. So, like I said, this season coming up, man, it's gonna be very pivotal I think, for the first 2 draft class for Joe Shane. Like I said, with got to see Evan Neal, JMS, what's called Deontay Banks, Jalen Hyatt. Like I said, Dane Belton. All these guys have got to step up. If they step up, we can even that much better, because right now the Giants is ranked fourth in under 25 talents on your team. We was ranked fourth with 4 people, with Kayvon Thibodeau, Malik Neighbors, Abdul Carter, and Jackson Dart. But like I said, we could have been higher if these other guys would have been stepped up. If JMS would have stepped up, if Jalen Hyatt, if we had the play was conducive for him, Deontay Banks. I mean, these guys got to step up, man. So wait, is he on time for? Same with Thomas Fedone. Yeah, Thomas Fedone is just a concussion, so I mean he'll be all right. But Cam Scatterbo, that's the one. That's the one with with a hamstring, man. A hamstring is very, very tricky. That's the problem with a hamstring, man. And I'm like, man, why do you have to get a hamstring early in his career like this, man, before the season start? Because, like I said, the one thing with a hamstring is tricky. And like I said, either it's going to heal, or it could just, like, be lingering all season long, and you're going to keep you out of games. And then sometimes you might rip it, and like you have to have surgery and be out for the whole season and stuff like that, man. Hopefully it's not. Hopefully it's something that's just very minor, and they just taking precaution and hold him out. I don't think he's going to play in the first game or something like that, but more likely play in the second game, depending on how long they decide they hold him out. It's 11-6 or 13. Let's go. Yeah. Yeah, I know you didn't want. I know you probably seen the one on ESPN where they had what's that? Rich Eisen had the guy who said the Giants was gonna go 2-15 this season and stuff like that. He only gave us 2 wins this season, but Vegas said we're gonna win like 5.5, under 5.5, and stuff like that. So because they're looking at our schedule, we do have a very tough schedule, and for some reason I don't know like how the Giants have one of the worst records and they got one of the toughest schedules going into the next season, but it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? So we'll have to fight through it. Like I said, we're going to have to lean on the defense this year to really, really step up for us and hold us in games and dominate and stuff like that. If we can get that happen and then the offense can help too and stuff like that, I think we'll be able to ride the wave and see what happens, man. But like I said, our defense should be top five defense, top five, top 10, if not top five, top 10 defense. Like I said, if people really put in that work. Now, the thing with our defense is the pass rush. Everybody know about the pass rush and things like that, but I'm more worried about the run defense. If these guys can stop the run, that's gonna make that pass rush even more effective because that's what teams are gonna do. They see the Giants like, yo, they got that run, they got that pass rush. Let's run at them and let's see what they're gonna do because if you can run on them, then it negates the pass rush. Then teams will just start running the ball more if they're gonna get more because they want to stay out of that, not getting sacked. So that's why it's very important for like the Giants, Golston, Darius Alexander to help Dexter Lawrence in that middle to stop that run. If you can stop that run, it's going to make the pass rush that much more potent. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I want to see. I'm not so much worried about the pass rush because I know we got the pass rushers, like, with Burns, Carter, Thibodeau, Lawrence, and even like Alexander. I mean, he can pass rush from his defensive tackle position too. So we'll see, man. Like I said, but my whole thing is let's stop. Let's see if we can stop the run because a lot of teams are going back to the run game. So now teams are got to emphasize the run defense again. For the last couple of seasons, 3, 4 seasons, teams are just going to the air, passing the ball. So no teams is more focused on cornerbacks and DBs and stuff like that. But now it's getting back to physicality with the run game. So hey, if we can stop the run, that bodes very well for the Giants to get in there and get some wreck the game plan. We want to wreck the game. That's what we want to do. Game records. We got some game records that we believe we got to on our defense. Let's go in there and execute and do what we got to do. So Malik Neighbors has been injured, yeah, and that's another thing with Malik Neighbors. Got to watch him this season too with that toe. And I know it's a toe injury that he had from college. I'm thinking I don't know why he didn't just get surgery in the off season just to get just to take care of that. That'd have been great if he'd have did that, but for some reason they didn't get it done, and I guess they're gonna just through the season they're just gonna monitor and things like that. Hopefully, I guess wait till the end of the season, then you can have this surgery because I heard it's been bothering him since his LSU days and stuff like that. So you know. But like I said, Malik Neighbors, even though he played through injuries, he had one of the best rookie seasons last year, man, playing with like 3, 4 different quarterbacks and stuff like that. Hopefully, when he finally gets a quarterback to play with either Russ and or Jackson Darden, it's like, yes, he's going to go to another level and stuff like that. So that's what we're going to hope for and see. Our whole thing, too, is like to get this offensive line. We got to get this line much better. Our defensive line is the strength of our team. The offensive line so far is like the question mark weakest link supposedly. But like I said, if we could just keep building on that offensive line, if we got to see if guys going to step up. Like I said, Andrew Thomas is a dog. We're going to see if JMS and Evan Neal can step up. If them two can step up and be stalwart on our offensive line and with Runyon and stuff like that, and you got Luminar and then Marcus Bowe. Yeah, man, but we got to keep getting offensive linemen because offensive line through the season, the injuries happen and stuff like that. We have to have great depth and stuff like that. So we got to keep building this offensive line up, like I said. And we got one of the best offensive line coaching, Carmen Brasillo, man. So I'm excited about that and stuff like that with Carmen Brasillo. And like I said, just like we said, it's already here, man. Preseason game number 1 will be Saturday, 1 o'clock against the Buffalo Bills this Saturday, the 9th. Man, can't believe it's like football season is back already, man. You know what I'm saying? So before you know it, game 1 will be right around the corner and stuff like that. I'm gonna give you some little highlights from Giants training camp. If some of you guys ain't see some of the highlights, we'll play some of the highlights for you. Yeah, this is highlights from training camp from today and stuff like that. Before I think they just got to walk through tomorrow. Then after that, they're gonna get ready for the preseason game. It's the Buffalo, and then next week the Giants have a joint practice with the Jets next week. So the Jets, there'll be a joint practice with the Jets next week. So I'm gonna just give you a little camp highlights. This little Russell Jackson dart. Going out to Tracy in the sidelines. Like I said, this is almost like the final practice before, like I said, the game Saturday. So they're not really going all out and stuff. They're just trying to work on some plays. And there's the moon ball. Hopefully we can see a lot more moon balls during the season, man. Like I said, that'll really help our cause, man. If we can get some moon balls and stretch the field, then it make teams really go back to playing defense against other NFL teams like they do, compared to like a box. The Giants are used to seeing so much bracket coverage and everybody close to the box against the Giants because we didn't have a vertical game. We can't throw the ball downfield. Once you can throw the ball downfield, then it opens up for other players to get going. Like I said, Wandale Robinson can get more, and Jalen Hyatt in the spot can get more yards. It looked like, what's in Gunnar Olszewski is back too. We had on him back after Rice 4 week and went down with that ACL season-ending injury. Yeah, Russ firing that in there. Yeah, also, like I said, some training camp notes also look like Boston to Debo and getting cooked a little bit by Malik Neighbors. Well, like I said, Malik Neighbors is cooking anybody. But like I said, I ain't put no stock into it till like I see him in the games and stuff like that. Because during the game, like I said, if our front can dominate like the offensive line on the other team, then our DBs don't really have to matter. They don't have to work as much. You know what I'm saying? They can be there to just get some turnovers, man. Create some turnovers, get some easy plays. So this is from training camp from today. And Jalen Hyatt, like I said, Hyatt been playing with a little injury too during this. I think they like trying to watch his stuff too and stuff like that. Monitor him too as well. Like I said, right now we don't need the injuries. Like I said, and I think his is a hamstring too. Like, man, the hamstring thing is just like crazy, man. And that's like the one injury you really don't want to get going into the season, man. Right at the beginning of the season, it's a long season. We're gonna need you. 17 games, and I think our bye week is like week 12 or something like that. I think it's like week 12. Our bye week is late. We have a late bye week. It looks like Montreal, Washington right there. Yeah, so Scatterbo hasn't been in practice and stuff like that. Like I said, with the hamstring injury and stuff like that. I hope that don't linger all season long for him and stuff like that. Let's get a little action with Jackson Dart. I know, like Jackson Dart, like I said, his first practice, first training camp, he threw some interception, pick six. But like I said, it is to be expected. That's what they're for. You know what I'm saying? Fit things in there, or you hold the ball a little bit too long and stuff like that, or you eye a receiver down and stuff like that. Can't eye him down. You gotta, gotta look him off. And that's Oshevsky. The Tommy Cutlass high on a run. This ain't with Russ in the pocket. Russ rolling out. Goes to Tracy. Russ looking. Scrambling. Yeah, I think, like I said, a lot of people down on Russ. Like, I guess other fan base are down on Russ. And Russ is washed up. He looked washed up in Denver, and he wasn't too good in Pittsburgh. But we'll see. Like I said, this season, man, I'm not counting Russell Wilson out, man. Like I said, as long as you got an offensive line, a line that can hold up, you got some playmakers and stuff like that. Let's see what happens, man. Can't be any worse than it's been in like the last 5 or 6 seasons, right? According to everybody, right? So we'll see. And like I said, Russell Wilson, you got Jameis behind with that. Then you got Jackson Dart. You're just going to go to the rookie Jackson Dart, but I think Jackson Dart going to sit for a while. Sit for a while, look at the game, let the game slow down for him and stuff like that. Jameis. I am. Definitely, we all do it. We do it on the stream, so we'll do it, man. Like I said, you'll be on it, so we definitely gonna do it, man. Last year, yeah, I'm gonna be more realistic because last year I wasn't realistic. I had the Giants at 15-2 somewhere. I don't know, man. I think I got a little too carried away, so I'll be more realistic this season with the Giants record going, especially with a tough season and tough schedule coming up. See how this line's gonna hold up. The offensive line, I'm not worried about the defensive line. It's more the offensive line. The offensive line can be a functional offensive line, and we would be all right this season, man. Be a very functional offensive line. That was just of the training camp and stuff like that, man. So you got to see how the training camp was this year, man, with the Giants and stuff like that, getting ready for this first preseason game against the Buffalo Bills. Like I said, I don't know, like starters ain't gonna play too much, but the second and third game starters will play. So going into preseason, what I'm looking for this season, I want to see how Evan Neal plays at guard. I'm going to be watching him to see how he plays at guard during the preseason. I'm also going to be watching how Deonte Banks, like I said, defend. in the games and stuff like that? Is he going to be touchy, grabby? Is he going to be like one of those? I ain't gonna say a lockdown corner, but is he going to be a competent cornerback because he's our CB2? But like I said, he's in a camp battle right now with Cordell Flott, and if Flott beats him out, then that's a big blow to the Giants because, like I said, that's a first rounder getting beat out by a third rounder. Even though I know it doesn't matter about what round you picked him, but still, that's a huge investment that you know what I'm saying. So, got to watch that one with Deontay Banks. This has got to be his redemption season. Like I said, I need to see more out of him. I just see his effort level, his tackling, and on plays and stuff like that, and pass breakups, interceptions, things like that. Just being a disruptor out there because the defensive line is going to do their job. I need to see him do his job in that back. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you could be hunters out there, get some interceptions and stuff like that. But the main thing, got to turn your head around, got to play with some speed. You got speed, use your speed, use your hands to pass breakup, use your hand for interceptions. I want to see that. Jalen Hyatt, I want to see the vertical game this year with Jalen Hyatt, Russell Wilson, whatever quarterbacks in there, they're going to call these deep these plays. I want to see him because, like I said, he got the vertical, game and stuff like that. Let's use it. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what happens. Like I said, 2 years ago we got teased with a vertical game in training camp, and that never happened. You know what I'm saying? I don't know because of the quarterback play, but now. I can see a lot of vertical plays that's going in training camp and all stuff. Let's see it happen in the regular season, also in the preseason games and stuff like that. They're going to air it out. I don't want to see too many conservative plays and stuff like that. The Giants need to play like they want to win games. Every game they got to play like they want to win a game, not just you know play with a limited playbook. Open up the playbook. We want the playbook open up in every game because we're trying to win every single game. Open up the playbook. We want the playbook open up fully wide. Open up the playbook, Dable. Kafka's going to be calling plays, which that's another blessing. It could be in disguise as Kafka calling a play. So we'll see some more vertical games. Also, from the tight end position, I want to see the Giants use the tight end more. Theo Johnson, Fedone, Bellinger. We got tight ends. Let's use these tight ends. What is the sense of getting a tight end? We're not going to use them. Tight ends to stretch the field, the middle of the field. Let's use them. We got guys. We got some athletes on here. Let's use these guys. Use the tight ends. Wandale Robinson, Jalen Hyatt, Neighbors, everybody. You know what I'm saying? These are the things, like I said. Also, came out, like I said, Evan Neal, like I said, you need to take that starting spot, that guard spot, Evan Neal. I need you to win that guard spot in preseason, training camp, whatever you got to do. You need to win that guard spot from Van Roten. Put Van Roten back on the bench. Let him be the depth piece. We need you to start. Play, like I said, play like you're the number 7 pick in the draft. Play big. Like I said, you could change the fan base's opinion of you. Like I said, all you gotta do is, like I said, we don't care if you had tackle, if you had guard, if you a mauler at guard, you doing your work in there. We seen you doing things and standing people up and you know what I'm saying, things like that, and or creating a pile. You know what I'm saying, moving a pile and stuff like that for the run game and stuff like that, mowing people down. That's what we want to see. That's what we want to see with Evan Neal. JMS, I need you to be in that center position. I need you to lock down that center position. I need you to dominate that center position. Like I said, this is your third season. You got to show up and show out. Jason Kelsey wasn't the biggest center, but he was one of the smartest centers in football. He knew how to use his leverage and things like that. That's what we need you to do. Use your leverage, use your strength and stuff like that. Start moving these guys back, moving them out of the way. That's what we need you to do, JMS. Like I said, the first draft class and the second draft class really, really, really got to step up this season for the Giants. If we are going to turn the corner, we need that first and second draft class to turn the corner. We need these players to start being better. Like I said, Evan Neal, JMS, Belton, Bellinger, Hyatt, Deontay Banks, all these guys got to step up. Got to step up, man. You got to step up. We need you to step up. Like I said, when you don't hear your name called on like the 25 and under, for talent on the Giants, I feel disrespected. That's a disrespect to me. If I don't hear my name, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, they overlooking me. Yeah, well, guess what? You're not playing like you. So I want to see, like I said, that's what I'm looking at in this preseason and this regular season. I want to see the first and the second draft class really come into their own this season, help the Giants, because like I said, if them guys really step up and do what they're supposed to do, we'll be well on our way. Even though we have a tough schedule this season coming up, we got probably the toughest schedule, the second or third hardest schedule. We need to show and improve. Like I said, the defense is going to beat it, but the offense really is going to have to step up and help the team win games. We have to score points this year. We got to score points. If we can score some points, get up in the 20s and stuff like that, Brian Dable, I know you used to scoring like 14 or 15 points. That ain't going to cut it. We need to score 24, 25, 27 points in this season. We have to score these points, whether it be the defense helping or the offense helping, but we got to score points. We got to sustain drives. We got to sustain drives. The run game has got to sustain drive. The passing games, guys have to make plays. I don't want to see drop passes on third and something and kill the drive. I need you to make those plays. Those are the most important plays. Those are drive killers. Third and 15, third and 8. You know what I'm saying? Third and 21. It's like we got to make those plays. I don't even care if we get a pass. I mean, defensive pass interference. We have to sustain drives to keep our defense fresh. If we keep the defense fresh, we are going to be in a lot of games, man. We're going to win some games. So, like I said, the whole thing depends on the offensive side of the ball. Are they going to give the defense enough time to rest? Are they going to make some plays, put some points up to give the defense a rest? That's going to be the recipe for the Giants this year. We know the defense is going to come to play. We just don't need to know if the offense is going to step up and help. And like I said, with the quarterbacks that we have a better quarterback room than we had in the last 3, 4 years, 5 years, whatever you want to say. So I'm looking for that. But like I said, the first preseason game is Saturday against the Buffalo Bills. Then after that, believe they play the Jets and the Patriots. And hey, I'm looking for them to step up. And like I said, I'm looking for guys to really step up in those preseason games. They got to show me something. Show me they want a starting spot. Show me they want to keep their spots. Like I said, but I'm looking at the first 2 draft class from Shane. It's like, hey, guys, this is your pivotal season right now. I got to see. You got some good coordinators and stuff like that. Hey, go out there and show up and show out for them and stuff like that. We got to stop being a laughing stock of the league. Let's take it. Let's get it, man. Like I said, this Giants, like I said, this season coming up is a very pivotal season for the Giants. Like I said, hey, the schedule's hard. Let's start and win some games. And just like I said, you win some games and stuff like that. Hey, you can show them like, hey, they were wrong about you. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing this year. You got to be wrong about the Giants. The Giants got to step up and play. Got to win some games, especially to keep Dable and Shane here. Because if they have another losing season, we already know. I think they're both out the door, or maybe Shane might be able to stay. But that's a recipe for disaster. You only want to think about it. Like I said, we'll see. And if Jackson Dart has to come in earlier than expected, he's just going to have to come in earlier than expected. Hey, that might not be a good thing because then that means we're not doing good. But if he doesn't have to play that much this season and we winning games, I'm cool with that too. Like I said, as long as he's getting reps and things like that, he's developing and stuff like that. That's all that matters, man. So like I said, man, I want to thank you guys for tapping in, man, for this stream, man. Like I said, just talking a little bit of Knicks and stuff like that. Also, Giants football, man, and some of my opinions and stuff like that, and reactions for the Giants training camps and camp battles and things like that. And like I said, going into the season, man, what I expect from some of these former players, high draft picks and stuff like that, got to start playing. Sometimes it is the coach, sometimes it's a team, it's the scheme, but sometimes it's all a combination. So you got to do your part too. If the team is starting to turn the corner, they saying the culture is different now in the locker room. So hey, I want to see the culture different on the field. I want to see these guys really going to play for each other and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Especially on the offensive side. Got to stop with these penalties and drive killers and things like that. We got to be sustain these drives. We got to score points this season. We got to score points. We're going to be playing against a lot of good teams that can put points up. We're going to have to keep pace with these guys. We can't fall behind by 1 or 2 scores and expect to come back because we're not really a comeback team like that. But if we be right there, anything can happen, man. Like I said, because most football games are only 1 or 2. There's only one. I mean, you lose by 1 score. Majority of games are lost by 1 score, a field goal or a touchdown. That's it. You get blown out sometimes. Yeah, you're going to get blown out. But like I said, a lot of games is just a 1-score game. Hey, man, what was that, 3 years ago? We was in a lot of 1-score games, and what happened? We ended up winning those games. That's why we went to the playoffs. So, hey, we'll see what happens, man. But like I said, I want to thank you guys, man. Shout out to the chat. William Horton, Neymar, you already know what's up, man. Thanks for tapping in. Tyrone Hall, Ghost Dog, RC the Hawkeye. You already know what it is, man. I'll be back tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. with the full court press with Coach Ed Gladney's Amazing World of Sports. Make sure you guys tune in tomorrow, talking WNBA, man, tomorrow night and stuff like that, man. So until tomorrow, man, I will see you guys until tomorrow. See one more thing. Oh, make sure before on your way out, man, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, man. Also share this on all social media platforms. If this is your first time to the Man Cave podcast, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, man. It costs you nothing, man. It is totally free, man. Also, make sure you go and subscribe to the Aboriginal Sports Network, man. One centralized location for all of our content. And make sure you go subscribe to all the great content creators from the Aboriginal Sports Network, myself, the Man Cave podcast, Big Pat Sports Talk, Unpopular Opinion Sports at NYG, Coach Ed Gladney's Amazing World of Sports, TP Weighted Giant, Leaf Diggy, Mets 2128, Ghost Dog, Rob R0B, Deception, and Delay of Game, man. Make sure you go and tap in there, man. Like I said, I will be back tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, so make sure you tap in with me and Coach Ed Gladney at 7 o'clock, full court press. Till next time, man. You guys already know what it is. Peace.
Who's got the rocket launcher? I say we blow it up. Now fire that thing.
It's for the city of sports, playing with a giant Nick. With my man S. God.
That's him.
You feel the vibe?
That's me.
We going live.
That's us.
That like button shared, you been subscribed.
Stadium.
That MetLife, Big Blue, home of the Braves.
Yeah.
That Turnpike, you can see that's where the game's played. NFL one day, then it's the NBA. Madison Square Garden, that's where the Knicks play. This that NY Logan, no it don't get broken. Legalize, mean this shit smoking. I'm on topic, dropping another episode. The game winner, trade, maybe a field goal. Everybody right now doing the wave. You tune in, the show called The-Man-Cave. I see the chat, they always doing their thing. Big views, 85 inch screen. The game's on, you rushing, please. Stay calm, you on the road to chill. Do the watch along. The show's on, the host, you know it's S-God. It's no telling the panel filled with guest stars. You're now rocking with the voice, you know who it is. It's your boy J Boogie. You're now rocking with my man S-God. I support him to the fullest, you heard? My man Mike Blaze. This is awesome production. What that mean, we about to alter everything that's playing. Tune in. My man S.T.O.D. Support the show. Subscribe, share it. Most importantly,